tell you which campground near Red Lodge is back open. Coming up.
Plus, could strong storms possibly be providing some fireworks again this evening? Ed will let you know what you can expect. And a moth invasion takes over Billings.
It's been wet this spring and early summer here, and they just love it.
We'll tell you why they're flourishing this summer. But first, America may be known as the land of the free, but some protesters say that's far from the case on this 4th of July.
Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like.
I can't think of anything more patriotic than be out here saying this is not okay. We're not okay with this. You're taking away somebody else's rights. I think that's what our nation is founded on.
Your MTN News starts right now. Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Russ Riesinger. On a day we celebrate America's birthday and independence, around 100 people gathered on the Yellowstone County Courthouse lawn here in Billings as they believe their rights and freedoms are being stripped. This was one of many abortion rights demonstrations taking place across the state and nation on this 4th of July as people continue to protest the Supreme Court ruling that overturned Roe v. Wade. MTN's Jackie Coffin has the story.
About 100 people are protesting in Billings this 4th of July, and they say the concepts the holiday represents is the very reason they're out here.
Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like.
I can't think of anything more patriotic than be out here saying this is not okay. We're not okay with this. You're taking away somebody else's rights. I think that's what our nation is founded on, and there's nothing else I want to be doing.
Protests for abortion rights have been ongoing in communities large and small around Montana since a ruling from the U.S. Supreme Court on June 24th overturned Roe v. Wade, a landmark case ensuring the right to elective abortion in place for 50 years. And for Billings residents protesting Monday, the message is they won't go back.
They're telling us what to do with this now, but what's next?
Similar demonstrations tailored to the holiday have been seen throughout the holiday weekend, including the Livingston Roundup Rodeo, in Eureka, and in Deer Lodge. On Monday, protests were planned for Missoula, Butte, Billings, Bozeman, Helena, Great Falls, and more.
I don't think it's a Montana value to be okay with being told what to do. And this is very much SCOTUS telling all of us what to do. So I hope other Montanans say, no.
Despite the Supreme Court ruling, abortion remains legal in Montana after a Montana Supreme Court ruling ensured the right is protected under the Privacy Clause of our state's Constitution. But that doesn't mean the law can't change, and anti-abortion rights advocates across the state say the fight is just starting.
That this is just the first step. You know, we have our work to do if we want to protect babies in the womb through all 9 months of pregnancy.
With Montanans feeling strongly on both sides of the issue, protesters say they'll continue to make their voices heard.
What do we want? Choice. When do we want it? Now.
In Billings, Jackie Coffin, MTN News.
Organizers are planning another protest in Billings tonight at 7 o'clock at Metra. That's where the big 4th of July fireworks show takes place. One person is dead tonight after a stabbing late last night on Billings' South Side. The Billings Police Department responded around 9:30 last night to 215 South 27th Street for a report of a stabbing. The victim was transported to the hospital but later died of their injuries. Police say the investigation is ongoing, but there's no threat to the public. Details about the victim or a possible suspect have not yet been released. Now, 3 weeks after the historic flooding, a popular Red Lodge campground is now back open and just in time for the 4th of July festivities. Arlena Howder traveled to Basin Campground today as visitors were excited to see the town returning to normal.
After it was closed down because of the historic floods, Basin Campground in Red Lodge is back open. Though the campground is mostly empty now, a few Montanans made it out to celebrate the 4th of July in nature.
Kelly Stevenson wasn't going to let Mother Nature ruin his 4th of July tradition.
Every year we come up to Red Lodge around the 4th and find a camping spot and just spend a couple days up here to get just over the hill, but just to get away.
Basin Campground wasn't Stevenson's first choice, but compared to other campgrounds, it's open.
Usually we go up Lake Fork and it's all washed out, everything up there.
His girlfriend Christina called Fish, Wildlife and Parks, and they told her that Basin Campground actually opened last Wednesday at 1 p.m.
First come, first served. And I was up here Wednesday, and I think there was only, by Thursday morning, only 3 total I think if people knew about it, it would have been full for sure.
Good news for Sabrina Charney, who didn't even realize the campground was open when she arrived.
We came here by chance looking for a campground. We visited a couple of the campgrounds around, Palisades for one. We tried to go up the pass and it was closed.
Charney's been to Basin before, and she noticed some changes since she's been back.
The landscape has been totally rearranged since the flood, so it's very interesting to go running around.
And she's grateful that at least one campground is open for the summer season.
It was a bit of a letdown, seeing as Montana country is so special, to have it out of commission for the summer season especially. But, you know, we made it.
It costs $15 per night to stay at Basin Campground, and since it's been fairly empty, it might be a good chance to see some wildlife.
About 50 yards over here, there was a sow, a black bear, and 2 cubs up in the tree that stayed up there until everybody went to bed, and then she disappeared during the night.
Montanans taking advantage of the outdoors while they can, hoping the worst is behind them. In Carbon County, Alina Howder, MTN News.
And this was the scene in Helena last night as the city was hit hard by storms that downed trees and caused significant flooding throughout downtown. Pictures and videos show water rushing down Last Chance Gulch up to the top of wheel wells on cars as people held doors shut tight on businesses to limit water coming into the establishments. Some cars were initially stranded in the roadways and parking garages, while moviegoers at the Helena Cinemark report the theater had to be evacuated with water draining into the lobby area. Several streets in and around the Capitol area saw rapid flooding, with a number of homeowners reporting basement damage due to the rushing waters. And this is in Custer County, where 3.5 to 4 inches of rain fell there, and Road 403 by Horse Creek was completely washed out. Custer County firefighters say on their Facebook page that road is impassable.
It's another day with the potential for strong to severe storms. A severe thunderstorm watch into effect for all of this pink shaded area. It extends anywhere from Butte all the way over to Billings, up towards Lewistown, around Great Falls right now. This Cascade area that's just a little south of Great Falls, seeing a strong storm move through that has the potential for up to 60-mile-per-hour winds and some pretty good sized hail possible with that storm as well. As we take a look at the latest Doppler radar, you can see a lot of lightning. That's the blue flickers you see here. Some stronger cells here north of Bozeman. For around the Billings area, current radar is showing a few storms starting to develop. Can't tell it looking out the window in Billings because we've got the sunshine and just a few clouds around, but make it through the evening hours, and some of these storms will continue to spread from the eastern plains all the way up into northeastern Montana, with the possibility of severe weather even into the late evening hours of tonight. Complete look at the forecast details coming up in just a couple of minutes.
Moths, like most bugs, are active during certain times of the year, but due to the drought and dry conditions the past couple of years, moths especially couldn't flourish. This year is different. This spring and start of summer have been wet ones. Moths survive off a liquid diet, and with all the rain and flooding, they've had a better chance at survival this year.
Yep, moisture is definitely the main reason for the moths being as thick as they are right now.
Josh Beeman has been in the business of pest control for about 8 years, 5 of which he has owned his own business. Beeman says this year he's been a bit busy.
Yes, this year the moths have definitely been a little higher this year, and I bet over the last 3 weeks we've probably had 50 calls on it.
Folks, you are not alone if moths are taking over your home. If you have a moth problem, there are a couple of ways to take care of it. You can call an exterminator, but Beeman has a simpler solution.
The best home remedy is keep your outside lights off.
In Billings, I'm Matthew Hidalgo, MTN News.
A new $3 million grant will help build the Minetta Simpson Institute at Heart Mountain near Powell, Wyoming. Heart Mountain is where thousands of innocent Japanese Americans were incarcerated during World War II. The hope is that the new institute will be a place where people can learn to understand each other better and bring communities together. Our Wyoming reporter Penny Preston has the story.
I'm Penny Preston. Here below Heart Mountain between Cody and Powell, people come from all over the United States every summer to remember a shameful chapter in America's history. This is the site of the Heart Mountain Relocation Center, where 14,000 Japanese Americans from California were incarcerated behind barbed wire and beneath guard towers during World War II. They lost everything when they were taken from their homes. were forced to live in cold barracks. In 2002, former members of a Japanese Boy Scout group came back to the site of the center. After that, former prisoners came back year after year, and the Heart Mountain Interpretive Center was created, visited by actor George Takei, who lived in camps in Arkansas and California.
I was 5 years old at the time.
Later this month, there will be a groundbreaking for a new addition.
We are naming this new venture in honor of Senator Alan Simpson and Secretary Norman Mineta.
The two former lawmakers were lifelong friends. Mineta lived at the camp with his family. Simpson lived in Cody nearby when they met as Boy Scouts. In 2008, they reunited at a dedication ceremony and returned each summer, but will not this summer.
We were really looking forward to having Norm and Al here again on the site, like they're here every year. But we lost Norm Mineta early in May this year.
Senator Simpson is expected at the July 30th groundbreaking for a place that will help heal old wounds and possibly new ones.
What happened during World War II to Japanese Americans is one example of how folks from across the aisle can now look back and say, you know, we really shouldn't have done that. This was not constitutional.
While their families were imprisoned here and in other camps, many young patriots volunteered to fight for their country.
My great uncle was serving while his family was still incarcerated here, and ironically, he was one of the Japanese Americans who helped liberate a subcamp of Dachau.
From near Powell, Penny Preston reporting for MTN News.
Still to come on the MTN 530 News here on Q2 as fireworks light up the night sky and temperatures rise. It's important to keep your pets healthy and safe this time of year. Some important advice next. And in sports, it's time to put a bow on Cowboy Christmas. We'll head to Roundup as the rodeo takes center stage on this 4th of July. The highlights coming up in just a bit.
The MTN 530 News continues right after this. From Montana's news leader, you're watching the MTN 530 News.
On this 4th of July, many people enjoy fireworks, but pets, maybe not so much. And fireworks are only one stressful thing your pet might face this summer. MTN's Marion Davidson talked with a veterinarian to get some tips for a safe, healthy, and calm season for you and your pet.
Summer is a lot of fun. Warm weather, lots of time outside, fireworks, but not all of that is fun for pets.
Some pets are very sensitive to fireworks, to loud noises.
So 4th of July, probably not so fun for those animals nor their owners. Luckily, there are things you can do to help calm your pet down.
Keep them in a safe, secure place whenever fireworks are going to be going off.
You can also get a thunder vest. It's a piece of clothing that wraps around your dog. Dr. Harris said it can help make them feel secure during loud events like storms or fireworks. Medication can help too.
Trazodone is a great medication. It's very, very safe, and you can use it on an as-needed basis.
But fireworks are just one thing you and your pet might deal with this summer. Another thing that can cause problems? Heat. If your dog likes to spend extra time outside in the summer, or maybe you take your dog on hikes, be aware of overheating.
You know, if it's not treated and it's severe enough, it can potentially be life-threatening.
Some signs to look out for: excessive panting, gums and tongue turning pale or a blue color, or if your pet collapses.
And if you got to the point where they collapsed, then you'd want to try to get them to a vet.
Some ways to avoid this: keep your dog cool. Make sure there is shade where they can cool off if they're outside. Take breaks while hiking, and have plenty of water available. Just a few things to keep in mind to help you and your pet have a fun, safe, healthy summer.
And fireworks will be lighting up the night sky here in the Magic City this evening. Harvest Church is once again celebrating America at Metro Park. The fun begins at 7 tonight with food trucks and games, and the fireworks display capping the night right around 9:45. Parking is free and there's no gate admission. And over in Laurel, one of the state's largest shows will take place beginning at dark at Thompson Park, where thousands of people are expected to take in the festivities. The theme this year: Party in the USA. Ed's back with a look at your forecast in just a minute.